Hello, welcome back. You are watching the Only Marathon benefiting the Trevor Project. And this is presented by the Fast Pace Events team. Thank you to everyone who is being part of the Fast Pace Events team for making this marathon possible. And coming up right now, almost immediately, it is RuffledBricks with Worms Armageddon, all missions, any percent. RuffledBricks, are you ready for this run?
Yeah, why not? Let's bang it out, gang. Thank you very much for having me. I am RuffledBricks, and we're going to be doing an all missions run of Worms Armageddon, which is going to entail completing all 33 missions in the game, as well as all 9 basic training tasks. Now, before we get started, Nico, I believe we need to discuss what the voice pack is going to be.
You are absolutely right. I can confirm. It's going to be the Angry Scots. At $125 over the $35 for Soul Man, Angry Scots takes the win.
There we go. We got a nice little contrast there to the cheerful Scot who runs this stream. And this is my team of worms, by the way, which we've kindly had some volunteers from the other runners in this marathon. So, Kid, I hope our team does you justice. Also, a little bit of a heads up, by the way, if you can hear what sounds like a hoover in the background, that is a hoover. I forgot that we have a cleaner in on Fridays, so apologies if it sounds like I'm going to be sucked out of the frame at any moment. Anyway, here is our run. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is basic training, what we're going to start with. It's basically just target practice so that we can get used to the weapons that we're going to be using throughout the run. Start off with grenade in the last one there. You can set the fuse on a grenade to between 1 and 5 seconds. So we had it at 1 second just for those 2 targets. This is the shotgun. Shotguns in this game all shoot in a straight line. So as you can see, you get 2 shots per shotgun as well. So but it doesn't really matter on that one because you can just keep spamming them. Oh, messed up the bazookas here. So this is bazooka training. Bazookas are affected by the wind, as you can see, and the wind gauge is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen there. And now here comes a very important tool that we're going to be using throughout the run. This is the ninja rope. Ninja rope, you get an infinite amount of swings during your use of a ninja rope. So, but the moment you release yourself from a rope and land on the ground, then that's it. That's the end of that rope's usage. Here we are on to the second grenade training now. And we have pretty much the same as the first grenade training, but we have an extra target there that we have to hit. So you have to crank up the fuse to 2 seconds on that one. And this is the fire punch training. We have to do the fire punch on the crate on the right there first in order to get an extra 2 fire punches so we can hit these targets. Fire punch, of course, being a reference to the Dragon Punch from the Street Fighter games.
That's pure magic, by the way.
And here's a second ninja rope training. Here it's just about like dropping weapons off of the rope. And something that you may notice we're doing at the end of each mission is we are using Alt F4 to actually get to the congratulations screen quicker. That's a little trick we use called fade skip. Basically, once the screen starts fading to black, if you do Alt and F4, it just takes you there quicker. But if you do it before the fading comes along, then you end up just going straight back to the commiseration screen instead. So you have to time that correctly. But you can save about 40 seconds over the course of the run as a result of that. Final grenade training
doesn't actually close the game.
It does if you do it on the menu screen. But whilst you're actually in a mission like this, then no, it just takes you to the menu screen. Right, so that is that's that bit done. Now we are on to the actual missions, as we have been considered qualified. So here is our first mission, Pumpkin Problems. And the object of this mission is to grab a crate which is on the right-hand side of the playing field. Doing that by just dropping myself onto this mine here. We're taking a little bit of damage, but it creates a nice little shortcut down to the crates. And we have enemy worms in this mission as well. We'll have them in every mission, but don't need to worry about them on this occasion. And there we are, grabbing the crate there. We will need to worry about it on the next mission. So this mission is called Operation Market Garden. I'm going to start off with a pixel perfect grenade here, bouncing our grenade off these 2 petals so that it knocks the sentry and these 2 grenadiers into a pile, like so. And piling is something that we're going to be using quite a bit in this run, because the more worms you've got condensed together into a closed space, the more damage you can do at the same time. So they fire a bazooka as they've missed, which is good, because you want Stella to remain in position here, because we're going to use that angle again if we can. But first thing we're going to do here is use this grenade with Worm 2, bouncing it off the terrain there and knocking them into the mine below hand. And did we get everyone? Yes, we did. So you notice one of the worms there still had 16 HP, but the good thing is when a worm dies on land, they have a grave explosion, which can cause up to 25 damage to any nearby worms. Also, something to note about that mine there is you can get very different outcomes on that grenade, because mines in this game detect worms around them every 10 frames. So depending on the timing there, then you never quite know what you're going to get. Grenadier there helping out quite a bit with by basically just throwing a grenade onto themselves there. And so, as you can see, we're using the same angle that we used before to throw a 5-second grenade this time onto the grenadier, and we actually get a very rare 3-turn version of this mission as a result of that. So the RNG there definitely helped us out. Now, I'm resetting this mission 4 times before we start it. The reason that I'm doing that is because when you fail attempts at missions in this game, then on subsequent attempts, the game will give you extra crates to try and help you out. And that's what we're doing here. You only normally get 2 crates dropping at the beginning of this mission when you play this. But if you reset it 4 times like I've done, you actually get 4 crates. And that's useful for the first move that we're going to do here, which is going to be with a baseball bat. So let me just line this up. So there we are. What I did there is I used the crate that had landed on Mendez's head there to just deflect the captain into the grenadiers there with the baseball bat, getting a nice triple kill. You cannot do that if that crate is not there. So that's the reason that we forced the spawning of that crate. Now, Grenadier walking over to the right here, and we want this Grenadier to knock Field Soldier down into the middle there, and they have... Oh, so close. So, doesn't matter if that doesn't happen, but it can make for a nice 3-turner on this if it does. As it stands, we might not get that now. So we're going to use this baseball bat here to get Grenadier out. That second baseball bat is another thing that you only get as a result of resetting the mission 4 times. The crate that was above Mendez's head contained that bat, so that's a nice little extra. And now Field Soldier here, we need to see what they're going to do. We want them to walk as far right as possible here, over to where Field Soldier is, if possible, but they might not do that, so let's see. Okay, they're going up the book. Oh, no. Okay, so we're not going to get the 3-turner on this occasion, because Field Soldier is not playing ball. And Swezzy has taken a death there. I think we're going to be skipping on to Amber Cyprian for the next move. Yeah. Now you notice that crate that has fallen onto the right there, the left. Sorry. That is a double damage crate, and we will be using that in a bit in order to do an airstrike. But I need to get this Field Soldier over to the right a bit more, because at present these two not coalesced particularly well. So we're using a mine there, and the way that I position that mine, I use a trick called mine hatting. Basically, when you stand on top of a worm's head, there's about 6 or 7 pixels on there that you can use in order to place a mine or a dynamite, and based on where you place that, it will have a different trajectory as to how it launches the worm in question. So I basically just nudged about 6 pixels across the Field Soldier's head there to ensure that they would land over there, and now they are very nicely coalesced, which means that Shovel Claws here has a chance to kill these 2 off. In fact, though, I've just noticed we don't need the double damage crate, because these 2 are just stood quite cosily over here near to the water. It'd be a shame if someone just came along and fire punched them like so. Not skipping go. We've got a very important job to do there, so let's just get the fire punch out there. And there we are, nice double kill as a result. So yeah, that mission can sometimes be 3 turns, but it's very RNG as to whether you get that or not. This mission is called Cool as Ice. This guard over here is trying to blow up the South Pole, and we need to stop them. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing an Uzi from that crate there, and I'm shooting the crates above the guard, because when a crate blows up, then a bunch of fire falls out. And sometimes it can one-shot the guard by knocking them straight into the water, but again, the flames are RNG, so we didn't manage that. So we're grabbing this crate, which contains a flamethrower, and we're going to just use the flamethrower on the guard, and we hit ourselves with the flamethrower as well, just to end the turn earlier, because a flamethrower has 5-second animation if you just let it run like that. So yeah, it just saves a little bit of time. Now this mission is a little bit notorious around these parts. This is do the locomotion. When I say these parts, I mean my streams. So the first thing we're doing here is we are doing a fire punch there to get the sniper in. The main reason we do that is it creates this tunnel up to the top of the tree, and there is a 1 pixel spur at the bottom of the tunnel, and that pixel is enough for us to actually be able to get onto this little blob here. And now I need to focus here. We're going to do a bungee. And there we are. What we're doing there, using the bungee to just fling ourselves over the train like that, so that we can get to this blue crate down here, which contains a jetpack. This is a grab the crate mission, by the way. The crate is in the bottom right-hand corner, as they often are in grab the crate missions for some reason. Doing another bungee there. I wanted to bungee all the way down to the bottom there. Didn't quite manage it, so we're now just going to jetpack over to the crate, and we're going to skip go here, just to end the turn slightly quicker, so we get to the menu slightly quicker. This mission is called Sand in Your Eye. The object of this mission is to kill off all the enemy worms, although the briefing implies that you're supposed to get a crate that's going to fall onto the pyramid in several turns' time, but we don't have time to wait for that. And also, the crate doesn't actually trigger the end of the mission, just killing the enemy worms does, so we're just going to ignore the crate. Hitting this mine here, because that's going to knock the adjacent mine onto the field soldier off camera and kill them off. I'm not going to look at them, although the camera will try to do so, as you can see. You can stop that from happening by switching scroll lock on, which will focus the camera directly on where you're standing, but as long as you get the bazooka done quickly enough, that doesn't really need to do that. The bazooka there, we just piled the 2 sentries down the little hole there to the right of the pyramid.
I'm gonna get you.
And now we're going to try and kill off 3 worms in 1 turn here. I'm going to do that using a longbow, which is similar to a shotgun, but fires arrows rather than bullets. First arrow is going to go to this field soldier here. At this angle, just off the camel's hump there, into the mine. The mine, as you can see, sort of slows the trajectory of the field soldier, but not enough to stop them from actually going into the water. I'm just going to walk here, and it's going to look like I'm going to try and put a needle through the eye of a camel here, but what I'm actually doing, I'm using that as a terrain marker to line up this shot on the mine here, which knocks the mine onto the sentry there, and it kills off the left-hand sentry, and because they're right next to the first aid crate, they blow up the first aid, killing off the other sentry in the process. Now, we have one more move to get done before the mission is over. This secret agent here pretty much always fires at Mendez here, and they're going to make a hole through so that Mendez can actually now attack secret agent. We're going to do that using a trick called a rope knock. So we're going to place a grenade down the bottom of this pit here, and we're going to try and knock this agent into the pit. So let's see how we go. Oof, right, so I didn't quite get it there. So what happens is, the way rope knocks work in this is you actually technically can't rope knock in missions because rope knocking is disabled, but if you do the knock outside of turn time, as in once your turn is over, then the worm will move accordingly. But I didn't quite get the angle right, so I'm just going to do a quick little fire punch there to clean up and get them in. Basically, if you try and do rope knocking during a turn, then the game just affixes the worms to the terrain with a strong adhesive, so like blue tack or something. So yeah, that's why we needed to time it that way. This mission is called Not Mushroom Out There. Now, Object to this one, this is another grab the crate mission. It's the crate in the bottom right that we need to get. And I reset this mission once, which gave us a crate that contained girder starter packs, which enables you to lay 5 girders on the map in one turn. And that's important because we're going to do a ninja rope here. We only get 1 ninja rope, and we're going to try and use that to get all the way to the crates. So let's see how we go. Just need to affix this to the edge of the mushroom here. That's why I shot several times. Up we go, over, and then just swing it across to this crate here, which contains a teleport, which we're just going to use to go straight onto the crate, like that. This mission is called Big Shot. It has a bit of a weird briefing to it. It says you've got an infinite amount of shotgun bullets in this mission. You don't. First thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to do that's a real sub-pixel precise jump there to get up onto the purple mushroom. So you have to do that jump very carefully. And the guard and the sentry here, we're going to kill those both off in this first turn. However, longbows, which is what we're using here, longbows are fairly weak damage-wise. Get up there. They only do 15 damage in and of themselves. So what we're doing is we're just shooting these worms onto nearby mines in order to ensure that they get killed off accordingly. So there is the second one. I'm just positioning my worm here for an important bit of AI manipulation that is coming up here. So this sentry on the right, because of the position where I put Stella, sentry is going to walk right, they're then going to jump left, they're going to make their way all the way up to the top of the frog's eye, and they are going to Uzi through the frog's other eye. In an attempt to get us, obviously they can't do so. And while that might sound bad for the frog, it is worse for the sentry, because the sentry is stood next to a mine now. And so you can probably guess what we're about to do. We're using a ninja rope here, and again, we only got 1 ninja rope in this, so we need to get this up. Now, the frame count is obviously a bit of an issue here, so we need to try and time this. Come on! Give me the thing! Give me it! Give me it! Give me the mine! There we go. As you can say, 10 frames, every 10 frames, that's not really enough for what I need sometimes for this, but there we go, setting off the other mine. Because you want to set that mine off, but you do not want to get hit by the mine in the process, so that's why you have to try and do that quite gingerly. So Sentry has now taken 2 mines worth of damage here, and that will be counted up the moment that we are finished over here. First thing though is we're grabbing this crate which contains an old woman, and we're just going to release the old woman so that she's going to basically just nag the guard's head off. And there we go. So she just complains for 5 seconds, feels like 5 minutes I was about to say, and then blows up and does a decent amount of damage to the guard, and then the damage gets counted up on the sentry as well. So we managed to kill 2 worms on completely different sides of the map in 1 turn.
I do have a question for you, RuffledBricks. What's your favorite weapon of the General Worms franchise?
Patsy's magic bullet.
Ooh.
You sadly don't get to use it in this run, but it is the most wonderful OP thing that they ever created. Also, there's an Armageddon weapon, which is great fun as well. It just rains comets down on you, which is supposed to happen in one of the missions, but we're going to skip it, I'm afraid. So anyone who was hoping for a recreation of the film Don't Look Up is going to be disappointed by this. This mission is called Water Surprise. The object is to kill off the general under there. And the terrain is indestructible, and we only have longbows in this mission. So in order to be able to kill them off, we actually need to get another weapon, which is the one on top of the Eiffel Tower. That is an aqua sheep, which is the cousin of the super sheep. Another fine weapon, by the way. Super sheep can basically just fly around, and then you just crash them into the target and blow them up accordingly. And an aqua sheep does the same, but they can go underwater as well. And we might be in trouble here. I think I've misplaced this girder, so don't know if we're going to be able to get up. Right, I'm going to reset that mission so that we can start that again. So that means I get a chance to explain to you what's going on at the first bit here. So you notice that there are some mines on here, and we're using some very pixel precise positions here to shoot the mines off. This strat was actually found by a runner called Psychotropic. And then the second mine there, as you can see, we actually face tank some damage from it, but it's absolutely fine. Mendez ends up with 7 and Stellar ends up with 1 HP, and that's enough to stay alive on this. And then General just skips go for several turns. Eventually they get given like airstrikes and napalm strikes to attack us with. But right, let's just make sure we get this right this time.
Are you still playing?
I just realised I wasn't. I just realised I wasn't live there, but I was asking what is people's favourite worms weapon, and my one was, and I deleted it. I was gonna play a sound effect.
Nice work, Fat Boy Slim.
Here we go.
Let's.
There we go. That's the sound effect.
Excellent.
You can tell that I'm experienced in the hosting aspect of things.
That was a good mashup, though. I enjoyed that. And actually, you're in luck, Nico, because we are going to be using that very weapon a little bit later on, a few times in this run, actually.
Perfect.
Right, I'm being careful on. Oh my word! What is going on with this? So yeah, unfortunately, I lost footing there and lost Mendez. So I'm gonna.
I swear.
Yeah, alright, so I am going to need to really concentrate this time. This is not normally a problem. I will say this mission is a tough one for casual play. It's known as being one of the ones that when you first play through this game casually, it tends to be a bit of a head-scratcher. Because the General ends up getting aerial weapons after a few turns, and it's really hard to shelter, as you can probably see in the section of the map that we're on. So because of that, it can be a bit scary, but the object, as you can see, is to do it quickly as possible. Right, I'm going to focus here. I want just silence on the T for this.
Come on, you waste of time.
All right, mate. Right, there we go. So let's see if we get it this time. Yeah, that girder position, you do have a little bit of grace. This isn't exactly pixel perfect, this girder position, but like if it is just slightly off, then it can like really affect the trajectory of your jumps. So it's a little one you have to be a little bit careful with. Right, here we go. Okay, this is looking a lot better. Right, good, we got it. So now here's the aqua sheep. And what we do there, so normally you can just fly the sheep around. You're supposed to fly underwater to get to them. What we do is we launch the sheep, we deactivate the flight of the sheep so it just drops straight down. And the explosion is big enough that it actually just permeates the leg of the Eiffel Tower, so it kills them off. Right, this mission should be a nice quick one-turner if all goes well. This one is called Jurassic Worm. And the object to this is a kill the leader mission. The leader is underneath this dinosaur's legs, so we're sending a mole bomb down there to dig the way down to the captain. And we also set off a mine at the top there, which basically just threw the adjacent mine down the tunnel, knocking the captain into the water. And as you can see, the white flags come out. All the worms look at that and think like, we can't top this. So yeah, nice quick one-turn mission, that one.
I do love how small the heads are in comparison to the rest of the body.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
art style for worms is always so fantastic, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. It's the big brains of the worms is what those heads are needed for. This mission is called Chemical Warfare. This is an interesting one. The terrain is indestructible again. You notice several of the enemy worms are holed up within it, but they all only have 30 HP, the ones who are actually within the terrain. So what we're going to do is we are going to use some weapons that will once again permeate the thin parts of the terrain here. Using the fire punch there, because the fire punch always does a minimum of 30 damage, so that kills off that major there. And I've placed Stella on the right hand side of this this ledge here. The reason we're doing that is because there is a lot of AI manipulation in this. So we want Stellar to get killed off because we don't actually need them throughout this mission. But also, well, after the first turn we don't need them. But also, this major in the very middle, we want to manipulate them into walking to the right during their turn. And to do that, we need to be very specific in how we handle these turns going up to that point. So I'm going to focus on this for a bit. So Nico, if there's anything you would like to say right now, now would be a good time to do it.
Absolutely, I'd love to talk a bit more about the charity that you guys are putting your money towards. You are watching The Only Marathon, a speedrunning marathon in memory of the only kid. And we are raising money for the Trevor Project. They are the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people. They do consistent research on the LGBTQ suicidology with regular evaluations and surveys to ensure their services reduce risk of suicide and help people learn of the mental health issues affecting LGBTQ youth. Excuse me.
Surprise!
I think you've coined a new term there, Nico.
Possibly.
So this has gone the way I wanted. You notice Major has now walked all the way to the right of their compound, and that means we can use this dynamite, which we only got as a result of resetting the mission once. We got a special crate for that. But yeah, that is the quickest, easiest way of killing that Major, because if they don't move all the way to the right, then it can be a real pain to deal with them. And now we only have this field soldier remaining here, who's going to do airstrike on Mendez. As you can see, plenty of protection from the terrain there, so nothing to worry about. So now we just have to decide how we're going to deal with the field soldier, and I reckon we're going to use ourselves a minigun, which is my favourite gun-based weapon in the game. Basically, a minigun is like a souped-up machine gun. It can do up to 100 damage if done at like point-blank range. But 82 is using a little bit of help from the mines there is more than enough for what we need here. So now this mission is called No Substitute, and this is where I think Nico is going to get a little bit excited, because your favourite weapon is about to get an airing. Yay! It is, of course, the Monty Python classic, the HHG. So what we're going to do here is I am going to pop it here. I'm going to jump back, and then back onto the grenade like this. This is going to blow both Stellar and Artillery into the air. Stellar is going to knock the field soldier into the water like that, and then Artillery has taken enough damage from the Holy Hand grenade that they're going to explode on top of the palm tree, knocking field soldier in the same time. So very nice, efficient triple kill there from the Lord's favourite projectile.
I am very happy.
Yeah. Oh, there's an even better one coming up, Nico. So yeah, watch out for that. But something you may notice, by the way, is that sometimes the game fades to black midway through a mission. That's just the game trying to give us an instant replay of what we just did, because it was so pog. But we don't have time to bask in the glory of our shots in this run. We got to get on with it. So we just mash through all of them. And using a shotgun here to kill that field soldier off, and because you get 2 shots with a shotgun, it means we can now just jump cozily along this desert island and shoot this Major into the water. And you notice the water rose a little bit in between each turn. And this is not really a gimmick that we need to worry about much in this mission, but it is going to come into play heavy in this next mission. So this mission is called Who Let the Floodgates Open. The water rises significantly between every turn. Switching worm here to Mendez using the select worm utility. And again, another sub-pixel jump there. You have to be very specific to actually be able to get up the side of this green bit here. You also have to be a little bit specific to get up here, but not quite so much. And now we're going to line up a grenade very specifically here. 3 back jumps, and then we're going to bounce it off the terrain here, because not only can you change the fuse of grenades, but you can also change the bounce between minimum and maximum. And what that did is it knocked that top secret agent down, and it knocked the mine onto the secret agent at the top of that lower claw there, so they both landed down within the drowning threshold of the mission. And field soldier here, you might think, okay, this is his chance to escape. Well, not so, because Stella is being used as bait there, and so field soldier is going to aim the bazooka down at Stella and walk down into the drowning threshold as well. So because of that, we actually get 3 free kills for the price of 1. And Stella is gone now. but that's fine. We only need Mindes for the rest of this mission. And we put a girder here to get up to this field soldier, because although we do have ninja ropes in this mission, we basically don't get access to them for the first 3 turns. So for us to get higher, we need to use other means. This secret agent here marks the start of the RNG section of this this mission. They can do a bunch of different things here. They've skipped go, which is fine. I'm happy with that. Sometimes they will do a bazooka up to the top left, which can actually end up hurting themselves. Other times they will teleport across the map, and that is often the worst outcome, because they can teleport into some really nasty places. However, what we want now is we want this secret agent to make a hole in the cables here so that we can actually get through. I don't think they're going to. Oh, no, they did. Okay, excellent. And they took a little bit of fire damage as well, so that's good, because that stops them from getting the first aid crate. So now our ninja ropes are available, so we can get up and over there. That mine has a 3-second fuse there, so I'm not too worried about that. And we're going to, first of all, try and coalesce these secret agents into one position here using a longbow. As you can see, they're both in the same position now, and then we're going to use the Hoover of Death to kill them off. No, we're going to use the another shot here from the longbow there, and I'm placing my worm there to try and stop the worms from going to the right here. Now, hopefully, this will mean that they skip go. However, secret agent might teleport here. No, they skip go. Excellent. That means now we can kill the both of these worms off with another minigun. So we're just going to shoot them down into the crate like that. And oh, nice. Okay, so we got one plop. The thing with this game is you want to kill the worms off by popping them in the water or plopping them rather than on land if you can, just because it's quicker. The grave animations can take a little bit of time, especially if you do a lot of them at the same time. But here we are on to Super Sheep to the rescue. The object of this one, we need to use a Super Sheep to collect a crate. So let me just focus this, navigating through the bells here and around this corner, along this way, and grabbing it like so. Almost blew it up rather than collected it, but that's fine. We reset the mission once just to spawn a nearer crate. And the crate that we got gives us a fire punch, which enables us to kill this guard off. When this mission first came out, you were able to actually cheese it by when its game first came out, rather, you were able to cheese it by blowing up the Super Sheep right where you were standing, because the game didn't care if your worm lived; it just cared if the enemy worm died. But that has actually been patched out, so now we have to learn how to do it properly. And yeah, this is the mission that Nico should get very excited about. So this mission is called Hot Stuff.
Yay!
And yeah, so this you heard your name, and
all I can just go is yay!
So this, you notice we're up against 3 worms with 900 HP between the 3 of them, which sounds like a lot. So what we're going to do, we've got ourselves a double damage crate. I'm doing a nice quarter pixel manipulation here, and I'm popping this grenade, this HHG here, and this does the biggest explosion in the whole game there, which knocks one of the field marshals in, it knocks a mine into another field marshal that kills them off, and it knocks Stella up to next to the 3rd field marshal, and their grave death there, just grave death, what a tautology, but their grave explosion there just kills off the field marshal by knocking them into the water. So we managed to kill off 900 HP of worm in 1 turn using the Holy Hand Grenade. Now,
Do you mind if I take a quick second to talk about a bid war that has just opened up?
Go for it.
So, the new bid war that you guys can put your donations towards is the Rolled Out character choice. Rolled Out is a fantastic game as well, on the adaptation of, I believe it's Super Monkey Ball. But there are 4 characters that you can put your money towards, which is Guava the Koala, Chateau the Giraffe, I can speak, Snowcone the Chicken, and Morris the Rat. So, again, you can put your donations towards the bid incentives right there for Rolled Out character choice. Let's see, some donations are coming through.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please do. And yeah, that last mission there, that was called Trouble on Mount Wormmoor. That was another kill the leader mission, which we did just by roping across the mountain and then using a kamikaze. Oh dear, right, let's try that again. So I accidentally skipped go there rather than doing what I wanted to do. So yeah, this mission is the final kill the leader mission in the game. This is called Chateau Assassin. Another one that was difficult, I think, for people on casual play, but actually not too bad in the speedrun at all, and has another wonderful strat that we're about to do here. So first thing I'm going to do is we're just going to set this girder up, like so, and then we're going to do a back jump here, and then or back somersault rather than a back jump onto the oil drum. The leader that we have to kill is this general in the bottom right-hand corner of the mission, and we don't have much to actually be able to get over there. So what we've done is we've reset the mission 4 times, and that has given us a low gravity utility, which means, as you can see, everyone nice and floaty now, and that means we can jump up onto this girder, and we're going to grab this crate which contains a fire punch. We're going to use select worm to switch to Mendez, who is now going to do a animation cancelled fire punch onto Swezzy, which is going to launch them into the general, knocking them into the water. And we get 1 skim, 2 skim, 3 skim. Almost got a rainbow there, but there we go. That was, as you can see, a nice quick way of killing that leader off. And that worm just gives up, because it's like, what can you do in that situation? You can't compete with that. This mission is called Rescue Agent Dennis. Agent Dennis is being played by Swezzy. Oh, and that's a reset there because the grenade was slightly off from where I needed it to be. So yeah, the plot of this mission is Agent Dennis is a particularly gifted mercenary who is being ambushed by 8 high-powered, high-intelligence enemy worms, and it's up for us to use this extensive arsenal here of weapons to kill them all off. Now, we're going to try for an AI manipulation here. It doesn't always work. We want Assassin to knock themselves down, so yeah, it didn't happen on this occasion. It's very much wind-dependent, but sometimes they can do a bazooka that will actually knock Stella into themselves, which will knock them down into this pit here. Now, what I'm going to do, let's see. I'm going to use a napalm strike here to get Field Marshal and Assassin. And yes, oh no! Oh, come on, Field Marshal. Play ball. So that's kind of irritating. We did get the Assassin into the pit at the same time as well, so we got 2 out of the 3 things I wanted to do, but Field Marshal has sadly survived that ordeal. So we're going to have to add an extra turn to this mission in order to be able to deal with them. I'm going to use a homing missile as well now. Homing missile is the first time I think we actually use this weapon in this run. And the way it works is you select your target with the missile using crosshairs, and then you fire the missile up into the air, and the homing mechanism kicks in after half a second. So here we go, let's just hit on the worm's tail like this, and just need to get this positioning right because we do not want this to hit the terrain. There we go, up into the air, knocks the field soldier into the secret agent, knocking them both into the water, like so. And now we need to deal with this rogue field marshal on the M of the Team 17. These are actually genuinely what the Team 17 officers in Wakefield look like, by the way. Now, it's a shame they've blown that crate up there because that contains a double damage, which would have been fine, useful for this mission, but not essential. And what makes this mission a little bit tricky is, by the way, the crates in this mission are complete trolls. They all give you select worms, so which is great if you want to switch between worm 1 and worm 1. Right, get back up there.
Do you mind if I interrupt for a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. Sweezy donates $5 saying, worms! Just literally screaming worms into the air. That's $5 goes towards the Dark Banana mode for Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. And unfortunately, I can't tell exactly what character choice they put it towards, but I can tell you now that for the Mario Kart Wii character choice, Luigi is still at $100, Yoshi is now at $5, Waluigi at $5, and Daisy is at $5 as well. Is getting very, very close for the final 3, but Luigi coming ahead.
Excellent. Right, so we're sorting out the field marshal situation with a shotgun now, because the dynamite didn't quite get what I was after there, but it's fine. The end of this mission is in sight. One of the biggest problems with this mission is although you get loads of great weapons to use in this, you only get one ninja rope, and because of that, you're quite restricted in mobility and being able to get around the map. So you have to sort of pick your time to use the ninja rope really wisely. And that's what makes this a little bit harder than it would be otherwise, because as you can see, you get absolute works here. What is General? Why are you all the way over there? They are really trolling me in this mission. So what I need these worms to be quite close together, because we're going to do what's called a banana trick very shortly, which is a move you can do with a banana bomb. But we do need them to be close, fairly close to each other to do this. Okay, right. So, oh, that's nice. Nice little self-killing, not killing, but hurting airstrike there. So there we go. This is what we're doing with the banana bomb. So banana bombs basically will shoot a bunch of bananas into the air like a cluster bomb. But if you pop it underneath a worm's bottom like I just did, then all of the clusters will actually explode immediately on the worm above it, and it creates this hugely powered explosion that just will pretty much insta-kill anyone who comes remotely within a hair's breadth of that explosion. So right, here we go into a weirdly named mission here called Horny Nuke. This is what I guess you could call a shopper mission. We don't start with any real weapons to speak of other than Uzis, so we're just grabbing some crates here in order to give us some weapons that we're going to use to do this mission. Starting off with a pixel perfect grenade there just next to that worm to knock both of those down into the pile with guard and grenadier like so. We're going to be using banana trick on them as well, so we're going to save that until the very last move of the mission. Here's another pixel perfect grenade trick though, and there we are. As you see, popping that onto the sniper, knocking the sniper into another sniper so that they both end up down the pit. You'll have to forgive me, a lot of these worms have very similar names, so I may end up saying sentences like that quite a bit throughout this run. So they just got a hit on themselves with the bazooka there. That might be a problem because we want those worms to stay as close together as possible. Okay, so I was going for a little rope fling there to try and get Stella as far to the left as possible whilst I was doing the grenade on those two snipers. Didn't quite get as far as I'd liked, but still decent. Decent trajectory there. Something to note about this mission, there's two things to note. Firstly, you only have a few seconds of retreat time after you've done one move in this mission. Most other missions you get between 3 and 5, and that is absolutely awful positioning on that grenadier here, so we are in big trouble now. But yeah, because of that, you've got very little retreat time on this mission. The other thing to note is doing another HHG first of all there. Purely for Nico, wouldn't normally do that otherwise. But,
yay! Speaking of it, actually, RPG Hidden Wizard actually wrote something in the chat which I thought you might laugh at this as well. Fun fact for everyone, Waluigi has the same amount of syllables as Hallelujah, which massively enhances the song of the same name.
Nice. It does. Right, yeah, so this crate underneath where we're standing at the moment, the object of this mission is kind of like sand in your eye. You're supposed to collect that crate as part of the mission, but doing so doesn't actually doesn't help. It doesn't. You don't complete the mission by doing that. Like, however, you do lose the mission if the crate gets blown up. And this is significant because of the way that these worms have been spaced out now. I can't really do the banana trick anymore, so I'm going to have to improvise a little bit by throwing it from afar, like so. And so we lucked out there. The spread of the bananas was actually quite generous there. It didn't go anywhere near the crate, which is good. It didn't get grenadier, which was probably to be expected given how far out of the pile they were. But we got the 3 on the right killed off, so that's good. So we just need to deal with grenadier now. Grenadier has cluster bombs, which are aren't the scariest weapons in the world unless you're using them for a cluster trick, but more on that in a bit. Going all the way over to this side for the shot here. Yeah, so as you can see, all of those exploded right in the same position there. Fortunately, we only took 2 damage from it, so it was just slightly rightward from being scary there, so that's good. So we're going to use a homing missile here. Well, I'm not actually, this time, as you can see, I'm not really worried about where I put the cursor, because I'm just using the initial phase of firing the missile at them to get them. And then we're going to use an Uzi just to finish the grenadier off. So I'm probably going to take another cluster bomb here. And he actually,
for a donation?
Yeah, go for it.
Lovely. We have a $10 anonymous donation that says, "That's pure magic, by the way." And that goes towards the $10 goes towards make Argic wear a Sonic costume. Just to keep you updated on the total, we are $380 to $500, only $120 away. And also it goes towards the rolled out character choice of I can't even say that name properly. Cartreuse the giraffe. I'm sure somebody in the chat could probably give me a pronunciation key.
Excellent. Right, okay. So, yeah, this mission. This is called Rumble in the Farmyard. It's another simple, kind of like kill the enemy worm off as fast as possible mission here. And that's a nice... We got a nice lead on that with the that frankly traitorous shot that just happened to field soldier there, so that's good. Now, doing a rope fling there just to get ourselves all the way across the map faster than we'd be able to get otherwise. I'm collecting these crates here. One contains cluster bombs and the other contains dynamite. We're going to need both of these. The dynamite we're going to use to knock artillery down into the well here. And having to do a jump there just because I wanted to try and clip into artillery off the rope so that they would land in the exact same position. Didn't quite manage it, so I need to get Mendez down there a slightly different manner. Captain has stood in a very good position there though, so that is excellent news. So now we're going to use a bazooka here just to kill off the field soldier, because normally what we would do is field soldier wouldn't be moved from where they're standing, so we'd pop a grenade next to them, which would actually launch them through the hole that we made in the garden fork at the beginning of the mission. But as they basically took a lot of damage, we're just killing them straight off instead, because that's going to be quicker. And now we're going to use cluster trick, which is basically the same as the banana trick that you've seen, but with a cluster bomb. So I'm going to just pop that underneath the captain here. I might need to... Yeah, I might need to stand with them there, just so that they definitely get enough damage. The 22, we should be fine here. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, captain, now going to take the remaining damage they need from the artillery. And yeah, cluster trick, as you see, all the clusters should explode if they're directly under. I don't think captain was stood quite far enough right on top of artillery's head there, so didn't quite get the full whack that we were after, but the grave damages just mopped up that for us. And then we're just going to finish off this field soldier. I think we're going to do a grenade. I'm just going to pop that on their head using the remaining ninja rope that we got here. And boom. Yeah, ninja ropes, as you can see, very useful tools throughout the run. But in a lot of the missions, you don't really get that many of them, so you have to use them kind of sparingly. This mission is called Wooden Ambush. We're grabbing a crate that contains a sheep, and we're going to use that now, using the jetpacks to get over to where we need to go. Oh, and I did not mean to dismount for the jetpack there, but we'll try and make this work. No, let's have another go at that. Because I need to be able to see what I'm doing there with the sheep, because it's more or less pixel perfect. So here we go, like just pushing this mine out of the way, because who needs it? And then dropping down here, staying on the jetpack this time, releasing the sheep into this part of the woods here, and blowing the sheep up there so that these two worms land down in this crater, like so. So they're now quite near the water. They've landed in a slightly awkward configuration here, so we might have a little bit of a problem. But we'll see how we go. Concept of this mission is that it's an ambush. Like, we've got the upper hand, so we're just using that to our advantage. And what we've done there is I positioned Stella as far up as possible, because that manipulates the field soldiers on the left into firing bazookas at Amber Cyprian there, which will, after 2 turns, open up a tunnel for us to get into there. But first, we need to throw this grenade down here, and we're going to hope that we get a good configuration out of this, and we didn't, because the right hand field soldier has survived, so I was slightly worried about that, but we'll see what they do. So this is going to mean that the field soldier on the right here is now going to take a turn, and let's see if they make a hole, because that's what we want. We want to be able to get down. No, okay. So in that case then, we're going to have to try a little move with Amber Cyprian here, just while we're waiting for field soldier to open that bit up, and it's going to involve a jetpack. There we are. So what we did there was we pushed the mine into the tree like that, so that it actually opened up a hole for us. And now that we're in here, I'm going to just drop a 1-second grenade. It's going to launch Amber into the 2 field soldiers, knocking them into the pit that we've just made, like so. And now, field soldier on the right here gets another turn, and this time hopefully should open up a hole. Oh my days, come on, what are you doing? Right, okay, I'm trying to think what the best thing we can do here is. Have we got shotguns on this Uzi? No, okay, right, what we're going to do, I'm just going to skip go, and I'm going to let the field soldier get us out of this mess. So, could be doing another bazooka here. Okay, that should be enough for us to get down there now. And they only have 19 HP, so we're going to use a bungee to get down, like so, and then use the Uzi to just plop the field soldier, like so. Now, coming up, it's one of the scariest missions in the game, at least in terms of the strat that we use for it. This is called Go Bananas. I'm going to concentrate here on this move, which is a grenade launch. So, silence on the T, please. Right, not quite there. So what we're trying to do is, it's a grab the crate mission. We're trying to launch Swezzy over the banana so that they can get as close to it as possible. Alright, slightly too early on the jump there. We only get 5 attempts at this move, and we actually didn't manage this in UKSG just gone, so currently I'm at the period where I'm struggling with this one a bit. Ah, okay, I missed my nudge on that time. Right, come on, 2 more attempts, you got this. Focus. Focus, the hoovering has stopped. You should have a clear mind. Nope. Right, 1 more attempt, and then we're going to have to go to backup strats. I think my timing is just slightly off on this at the moment. Okay, so basically, it's frame perfect, that trick. Like, you, and then after 5 attempts, what happens is the game keeps giving you this double damage crate, which if you try doing that grenade trick with double damage, just leaves your worm in a bloody mess on top of the apple. So we're going to do a backup strat here, where I'm just going to pop Swezzy on top of the sentry, and then we are going to send another worm over. Probably might be Mendez at this rate. Oh no, okay, Mendez has survived, so that's good. I used to be great at doing this trick in marathons. I don't know what's happened. But let's get down here with a bungee. We get a couple of those. You can actually do a bungee fling all the way past the banana as well, but that is ridiculously difficult to pull off. So now, let's see if we can get this right. There we go. So what we do instead is we just use a baseball bat there to get Swezzy over the banana. Like so, so that they are now nice and close to the crate, and they can blowtorch down to it. This mission, I have to say, like even for casual players, not a particularly fair one, because the briefing tells you you're supposed to use low gravity to get over the banana, which would be great, but you actually have a delay of like 5 turns before low gravity becomes available. And on top of that, you're using it in conjunction with a parachute. And if the wind just chooses to go the wrong way, once you've got the low gravity, then there's nothing you can do about that. And if you wait long enough, an earthquake will actually knock that crate into the water, failing the mission instantly. So, right, here we are onto the drop zone. Resetting this one 4 times because this gives us a shotgun crate. So here we go, grabbing this and just nudging along Mendez's head here. And let's see if we can get this right. So this is sort of frame perfect-ish. Like too early, I think. Yeah, too early. So what we're doing there is we were trying to shoot the field soldier there so that the mine then knocked him onto the adjacent field soldier, and that will kill both of them off in one turn, which means that you can then use your second shot on the field soldier down below there and use a jump knock to get the 4th one off. But there's a certain frame range on each second that you can use where the mine will actually do that for you, and it's quite precise to get. Apparently there's like 7 frames where it'll work, but I don't believe that. I think I was just told that to mock me for my ability at that. So, going to use a terrain marker here to try and line this shot up. Go, Captain is in the water. And then just 2, 3. There we go. Shooting the other field soldier like that off as well. The way you're supposed to do this mission, by the way, is you start with a fire punch and 5 suicide bombers, and you are supposed to float your worms down individually and use those weapons to kill the worms off. But we haven't got time for that. So, let's see, can we get Swezzy to do the business here? Yeah, there we go. And we're just going to use a fire punch to knock field soldier into the other field soldier there, just to kill them both off. Like so. Now, next mission can be a bit of a run killer. This one is called Countdown to Armageddon. First thing we're going to do here is a nice little 1-second grenade here that will knock field soldier in, and throwing Stella into Mendez there to pop them down into that pit there, which means that this is going to manipulate field soldier into attacking Swezzy, and they will drop into the pit with the captain as a result. What we don't want to happen here is for Major to get moved out of the way, and that's good. That hasn't happened, so we are still on track on this mission for the time being. It's still possible if the Major gets knocked out of position by the bazooka there, but it is definitely longer that happens. So, you might have noticed there is a worm in the middle of the terrain who has a pretty voluptuous hat, I think you would say. They are the politician. The job of ours in this mission is to protect the politician, not just from the enemy worms, but also from a fragmenting comet that is going to land in this city after about 8 turns. Now, what you're supposed to do in the vanilla version of this mission is you're supposed to just place girders around to try and create shelters to stop the politician from getting killed, but we have other ideas. We're basically just going to try and kill off all of the enemy worms long before the comet even comes into play. The way that we're doing that, so we've got all of those worms piled up very nicely on the right there. Going to just ninja rope across here and going to use a baseball bat. Let's see this angle and just coalesce them all together. And one of the worms is going to die as a result of this. Now we're going to hope that the grave damage will take out the other worms. However, this occasionally happens, whereby artillery, despite being an immobile worm, manages to actually find their way out of the pit as a result. So because of that, we are going to need to take another turn to be able to finish this one off, but that's not too much of a problem. So I'm going to use a shotgun here just to create a little staircase for us to be able to get up, because we've run out of ninja ropes by this point. And jumping across here, and then we've got one more shot there. I can see one of the worms over here is in critical health, so hopefully this shot should be all we need to be able to finish off the remaining worms. You can tell they're in critical health, by the way, because they just start huffing and puffing, like so, from their animation. So even if you can't see their their damage, their HP, then you can use that as a guide. And as you can see, there we are. Grave damage is just killing off all the remaining worms, like so. And the politician survives for another day. Now, next mission is quite a short one. This mission is called Mars Star. The object is to blow up a crate on the right-hand side of the terrain. And we get to use an infinite amount of weapons per turn on this mission, which we don't in any other. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw 2 grenades across the territory. We're going to quickly pop a girder from a girder starter pack up like that, and then cancel the rest of the girders. 1 grenade makes a hole, another one just hits the crate, and then we just skip go in order to end the turn earlier. And that is that. Very nice, very quick, very simple. And on to Mad Cows here. This mission is basically another just kill all the worms mission. And it's not really too much of interest to speak of here. We've got a nice grenade trick coming up on these 2 mages on the right in the most, so do keep an eye out for that as I do it. But in the meantime, Nico, if you'd like to say a few things, then now would be a good time to do so.
Excuse me, I was unmuted there. Hello everybody. Right, so I wanted to mention about some of the music that you guys hear within the course of the marathon. We'd like to extend our thanks to Overclocked Remix for being the provider of many Sonic music remixes that you're hearing between runs, and you'll be hearing a lot of it within the Sonic and Knuckle blocks. Check out their website and music, ocremix.org, or by using the !OCR command in the chat. And I'd just like to remind you guys that we are raising money towards the Trevor Project. So guys, if you are able to, and you are able to support an amazing charity, please do !donate within the chat so that you can be provided to the Tiltify page. And we have some amazing incentives as well. We're still $120 away from making Argic wear a Sonic costume, so just a little bit over $100 now. I'm sure we can reach it.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason I like that costume on Argic is because it also makes him look a bit like Space Ghost. So,
I didn't quite put that picture together, but now I have.
You see what I mean? So there, we've just done a dynamite on Major there, and once again using the dynamite hatting trick there, so we just got the right pixel, so it ensures that it goes straight into the water. And boom, now here is a mission that can be another run killer if it wants to be. This mission is called Bazooka on the Rocks. As the title implies, you only get bazookas in this mission, which are kind of an annoying weapon to have because, as we mentioned before, they are wind dependent. Fortunately, the wind is always the same on this first turn, so we can do that shot there, which just blew the captain into the adjacent captain, knocking them both onto the mine. One of the captains dies from as a result, and then their grave damage kills off the other captain. But yeah, the big problem with this mission is this captain in the bottom left-hand corner. As you can see, they are in a particularly inopportune position to get using just bazookas. And the winds here, depending on this, they can end up in a different position by the time we come around to trying to defeat them. So they're not in a great position at the moment, but hopefully that will change by the time we get to the 3rd turn. In the meantime, it's Mendez's turn to shine, and we are going to use surprise, a bazooka. Knocking Major onto this mine here, just to kill them off in one go. That shot there's like 4 different positions you have to learn from that shot depending on what the wind is on that turn. So you can always get that shot more or less, but you have to sort of adjust ever so slightly depending on what the wind is. I actually have a chart on my wall above my PC that goes into detail about those positions, as well as other situations such as if the oil drum gets blown up. So where are you going? Okay, they're going all the way down to the rock there, which is good. This is going to make a nice easy kill here, and we reset this. Something I should mention is those first aid crate drops are RNG there, and that is potentially a problem where that one has just landed. We will see. We'll see how this goes. So yeah, we reset the mission once. It gives us a homing missile. So okay, good. Phew. Worried it was going to blow him back onto the land there, but fortunately Fortunately, it went well, because this is not a mission where you really want Captain to stay alive after that turn. It's really difficult to deal with them otherwise.
Yes, sir.
This mission is called Stolen Goods. I'm switching the background layers off for this one using Insert, because we need to do this ninja roping underneath the Microprose logo here, and it's much easier to do if if you switch the layers off, because it means you can see where the kill plane is clearer on the water. There's several layers of it normally, so it obfuscates it slightly. So the plot of this mission, as the title implies, is the crates on the right hand side of the Microprose logo here, Microprose being the original publishers of the game, have fallen into the enemy's hands. We need to get them back so we can actually dispatch the enemy. And we've only got one of them, which is the only one we need. It's a wonderful weapon called a French sheep strike. What happens is, so we're going to aim the sheep strike about here. 5 flaming sheep tumble onto the terrain here. They each bounce once, so you get 2 explosions out of each of them, and they do a decent amount of damage to the worms here. Now,
Blood of war.
what I wanted here, ideally, was for at least 3 of them to get killed off. That has not happened. The left-hand field soldier here has survived, and they might grab this crate as well. I don't know. No, they're not.
Mommy's boy.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
So, actually, I might try and get the crate. I'm just trying to think whether that's going to be helpful or not. It contains a weapon called Mike's Carpet Bomb, which is a very fun weapon that you can use at long range. And you very rarely get to use it in this mission because it normally gets blown up. But we might actually... I think we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's a heckin' marathon.
Just you wait.
Let's have some fun, yeah? So, Mike's Carpet Bomb is very similar to the Super Sheep... not Super Sheep, the French Sheep Strike, in that it drops 5 rolled up carpets onto the enemy and they bounce around a lot. The explosions are not as strong as the French Sheep Strike, but they have more bounces. So they might not get the required result on this, but I'm going to give them a try anyway. So here we go.
Yes,
Do we
sir.
have some time for some donations whilst you're doing this?
Yeah, go for it. Here it comes. I don't think we got a kill there, but it was a lot of fun nonetheless. Yeah, not quite. Anyway, go ahead with the donations.
No
There you
worries.
go.
Mindez actually donates $8.58 and says, my head still hurts from those crates landing on my head.
Terribly
Thank you,
sorry.
Mindez, for the donation. H3O Charles donates $1.11, saying Sonic costume, where you at? Also, greetings from the Worms Armageddon community. And JC Longstrider donates $20, saying waking up to this amazing Worms run is a great way to start the day. Super hyped for the entire marathon and always happy to donate towards the Trevor Project. Now, those 3 donations did go to a few incentive and bid wars, so we are currently at $409.69 for Make Argic wear a Sonic costume. Sub $100 towards making Argic wear that costume. Can we get that? Can we get that donation goal met? We also have a few character choices for rolled out character choice. Morris the Rat is now at $8.58, just shy of Chartreuse the Giraffe, now $10, and also Waluigi for Mario Kart Wii, the character choice. Waluigi is now at $26.11.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I was concentrating quite intensely there. So this mission is called Sinking Ice Cap, and I'm doing a little AI manipulation there with Stella, where you jump 4 times so you land on Assassin's head. Assassin tries to attack you with an airstrike, but because you end up falling off Assassin's head during the airstrike animation, you actually hit the mine next to them, killing them off, and the airstrike gets cancelled. But yeah, the concept of this mission, you don't really have any weapons other than blow torches, which, surprise, surprise, aren't that strong. So we're using a few AI manipulations. We also wanted our worm to actually have less than 7 HP by this point, but it hasn't happened. So we're using a little backup strat here, which is fairly common, by the way. It's hard. You can't really guarantee that you're going to end up with less than 7 HP off that mine. But I'm placing Stella on the apex of this cottage roof here. Assassin is now going to attack us with an airstrike. Not really thinking about the fact that they are in the firing line of this airstrike, and there is a oil drum there that is going to explode as a result. So they end up killing themselves off there as well. So we actually managed to kill off 2 of the 4 enemy worms in this purely with AI manipulation. We also lose our worm, but as I mentioned earlier, in most missions it doesn't really matter if your worm survives, as long as you achieve the objective of the mission on your last turn.
I'm just going to make a quick call out. Ori Sky donates $1.01. That says fixed a dono total. I did it, right? Right? The nice number is not there anymore. Ori Sky? Thank you so much for the donation, though, buddy.
Nice.
And that actually went towards the Argic Sonic costume as well, so it's now at $410.70.
Excellent. Right, this mission is called Aim Long, Aim True. We only have grenades to deal with these enemies here, and as you can see, some of them are in quite awkward positions. So we started off with a girder starter pack, which will come into play a bit later. And we threw a grenade, both begin with G, both quite long, easy to get mixed up. Knocked that grenadier next to the other grenadier there, so that they took 13 damage off them during the death throws. These girders here stop this grenadier from attacking us, which is good because this is an artillery mission, so we can't move. But also, they help to funnel our grenade down like that, so that it knocks this grenadier next to the middle grenadier, and this grave explosion here is going to kill them off. So we actually managed to kill that middle grenadier there without throwing a single grenade at them, just purely from grave damage from the worms surrounding him. And this general, nothing to worry about here. They're in such a bad position they can't do anything, so we now have to get them, and we're going to use a max bounce grenade for this. Just need to get the position right, because this is quite a tough shot to line up. One more notch, this should be it. See how this goes. There we go, bouncing off the girders there and hitting the general square on the noggin, like so. Sometimes you...
Another donation, sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Lovely. Shed Arcade donates $50 saying Argic is Mr. Sonic. So it will be the Sonic wearing a Sonic costume. A great marathon. So you guessed it. We're now at $460.70 towards the $500 total. That's just under $40. Can we meet it by the end of this run? I want to see another $5 hype train. We've only got like 8 lots of $5 donations to make it $500.
Excellent. Right, so this mission here is called Goody Two Shoes. I used to mock the title of this mission because there's 3 shoes on display, but I've had a couple of responses to that from chat previously. One of them is that the one on the right is a boot, so maybe technically not a shoe. And also someone said, how do we know that all 3 of them are good?
Bless you, RuffledBricks.
So
Sorry, I had to interject.
Go for it. No, that's fine. You sound just like my mother. So,
wow, I can't tell if that's an insult or not.
no, it's fine.
Okay, good. So it's not an insult. Perfect.
Yeah. So this is another shopper mission because we don't really start with much in the way of weaponry here. We do get an aqua sheep though, and we're going to use that to collect some of these crates here, just so that we've got some decent weapons to deal with these enemies here. Now, the fact that it's an aqua sheep does imply you can do it from down below. You can send the aqua sheep into the water and go around, and you can, but you need really good RNG for the worms to line up so that the weapons you get will actually be helpful in that regard. And yeah, you cannot rely on that, unfortunately, but there is a great TAS by a runner called Lex that shows you how that can be done. I highly recommend tracking that down. So the enemy worms here are just throwing what I call waste shots. They can't get a good shot on us, but the enemy worms will generally try to do something each turn, so they're kind of useful. And that crate there is a spare one we got as a result of resetting the mission once before I started it. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Get the aqua sheep going. Let's collect. So we only need 4 of these crates.
That's pure magic, by the way.
Go. So we got the 4 that we need, and now just going to plough our aqua sheep into the field soldier there. And the reason I spawned that crate next to field soldier, it contains a napalm strike, which can be useful, but I prefer to just use it as extra ammo so that you can one-shot the field soldier like so.
Can I make a cool little announcement?
Go for it.
We just hit a total of $777.77. An anonymous donator donates $57.07. Thank you so much for the anonymous donation. And we also just had a new donation come in about 15 seconds ago from Dennis on the internet saying, "Road to Argic Boss." If you have an Argic emote, can we get some Argic Boss in the chat? And as you guessed it, goes towards the Sonic costume. We're now at $465.70. We're so close! We're so close!
It's a shame they changed the total there, because if they'd left it as that, every attack that my worms would do 777 HP damage, so...
Watch this.
If you know, you know. Anyway, so here we go. Taking a grenade here from Field Soldier. You do have to shelter quite well in this... mission, just because the enemies, I don't think we talked about CPU levels yet, but if you look down by the enemy team numbers, then the enemy team gauge at the bottom, there's a number next to it. It's the number 5, and the number denotes the enemy's intelligence level, with 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. And because they are CPU 5, their shots are generally about as accurate as they can get on each turn. Saying that, I think this grenade usually tends to miss. Yeah, they can't quite get a good shot on us because of how we've holed ourselves up on that shoot. But, and here, just going to do a pixel perfect airstrike here, which should... There we go, not major. Slowly into the water there, and Field Soldier goes in the side of the boot as well. So we are now coming up to the penultimate mission.
Can I read a donation out before the penultimate?
You can do it during.
Perfect. Let me know when you're ready then.
We're in. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, let's go. Okay, so nobody in particular donates $1.24. And it says, no commentary at all. Nope. Nothing here. It says absolutely nothing in this box in front of me. Nah. Sorry. Nothing's there whatsoever.
The first blood of war.
That also goes towards us. Make Argic wear a Sonic costume. $466.94. Come on, we can make it, guys. We can make it all.
We sure can. So this mission is called Trouble in Toy Store. And we do a pixel perfect grenade at the beginning there just to kill off 2 leftmost enemy worms. And now we are going to do a cluster trick, but it is a long distance one. So it's going to bounce underneath the captain's bottom there and knocking them into the minefield there. I think we managed to get a one-shot there on the 2 worms. Yes! So because of the mines there, they both got killed off in one turn as well, which is very nice. That move is probably the last big RNG move of the game, because the cluster trick, whilst it's generally pretty useful, you never quite know where Captain is going to land there and how much damage you're going to get off the mines. So because of that, you know, you can end up having to do an extra turn on this in order to be able to kill those worms off. Fortunately, we got a one-shot here, so we can just crack on with dealing with the assassin. As you'll notice, there's another behatted worm in this mission. This worm is a little bit sick, as you can see. They are the scientist, and they are poisoned, so they lose 3 HP between every turn. And to be honest with you, I often forget to mention this VIP in the in marathon runs, because there's not really any great danger. They've even managed to tank this dynamite we've used to get closer to Assassin. But just in case anyone was wondering who they are. And Swezy's taken an Uzi to the face there. This is fine. So I popped Swezy in a specific position when I did the dynamite there. That was to ensure that we could definitely have a hole wide enough to get down to Assassin, because they are the hardest one to actually get to out of any of the worms on this mission. So we need to focus a bit on them. And then we're just going to wander across. That jump was a bit far. And then just do a cluster trick. The last cluster trick of the run to get rid of the assassin. Like so, and now we're coming up to the final mission of the run. You're probably thinking, given what a grueling run this has been, that the last mission probably going to be quite a humdinger. Going to really put us through our paces, and you are wrong. This mission is called Spectral Recovery. It's actually not too difficult at all. The object of this mission is to grab a crate that is going to drop on the left-hand side of the terrain, but you need to place a girder below it so that it won't fall into the water. Now, you can do this mission very easily just by blowtorching to the respective places and just ignoring the enemy worms entirely. We're going to do it a little bit more quickly, a little bit more daredevil. We're actually going to take on the enemy worms, starting off with a grenade. 2 seconds, maximum bounce, and let me just, once again, pixel perfect on this, so let me just get the position, and that should be it. Bouncing it over there to the captain. Then we need to do 3 jumps there so that we actually knock the grenadier off as well. Excuse the wonky camera work there. We're playing at 4x3, so it's hard to see everything that's going on with that particular shot, but the cameraman does his best. And now Captain is the only enemy worm left, and it's Captain's turn to try and claw this back. The last chance for the enemy team to make a name for themselves. Come on, Captain. Let's see. Can you finish off Stella once and for all? It was a noble attempt. Anyway, so Captain's there, just sat chilling out on top of the oil drum there. So we're just going to blowtorch the Captain off the oil drum, stopping the blowtorch before we hit the oil drum because we don't need to attack ourselves in this instance. And so you're probably thinking, okay, all the enemy worms are dead. This mission is GG's, right? Not quite, because we still have to grab the aforementioned crate. But because all the enemy worms are killed off, this now means that we get all of the enemy worms' turns for ourselves, which makes the second half of this mission considerably quicker. So now what we're going to do, we grabbed ourselves the girder. We are going to skip walk our way up this tunnel. Skip walking, by the way, is just when you rhythmically click the menu button on your mouse as you're walking to cancel animation frames so you walk a little bit quicker. You have to do it at a very specific rhythm in order to ensure that you are going fast. Otherwise, if you do it too quickly, you can actually slow yourself down. And then we're just going to blowtorch to the top of the terrain here. Going to hit a mine in the process. That's absolutely fine. And going to place a girder to stop the crate from dropping, and then we're just going to skip go until the crate arrives. So it's a little bit of an anticlimactic end to the run, but because of that I'm going to use this nice chill section to just give a few shout outs. Shout out to the Worms speedrunning community, shout out to Mablack in particular, who has done a lot of great work routing this over the last few years. Shout out to everyone else who's routed it as well. Shout out to Deadcode, shout out to Lex, shout out to Psychotropic, shout out to Peachy, who was the first runner to ever get a full all mission speed run on the SRC leaderboard. Time is when you see the congratulations screen, which will be very shortly. Firstly, we're going to grab this weapon, this crate, which contains a really powerful weapon. And time! And that is all of the missions in Worms Armageddon completed. And you don't really get an end sequence to this, you just get this nice little plaque here, a nice little gold medal, and a fanfare for your troubles. But what time did that come in at the end,
It came up
Nika?
to 1 hour, 21 minute and 21 second on the dot.
Okay, so still within an estimate. That's fine. That's what I aimed for. So yeah, a little bit janky. Apologies for the Dyson Airblade that was in the background for significant portions of this run. But just want to say thank you so much for the o0nlymarath0n for having me. I didn't actually know Kid before their death, but I did end up looking at their socials subsequently. I read their paste bin message on their Twitter, and I have to say it did really chime with many things that I'd felt over the last year within like lockdown and stuff like that. So just want to say keep donating to the Trevor Project, absolutely fantastic cause. And shout out once again to all the Worms Armageddon speedrunning people, and shout out to my channel, twitch.tv/the RuffledBricks. Yeah, thank you very much, Nika. Anything more you want to say?
I'm literally going to say this as well. This is actually my last hosting shift for hosting this marathon. So thank you everybody for allowing me to be a part of this amazing marathon. Again, this marathon, the charity itself holds a very, very dear place to my heart as well. So thank you to everyone who's already raised $784.01 towards the Trevor Project, and I'm incredibly proud of every single person here in this stream right now. Thank you so much for making this already a great start to the marathon. You are all legends, and I appreciate every single one of you. But we're going to be handing it over to our next host very, very shortly by the name of Queer Buccaneer. And they're going to be hosting the next run very soon, which is, I'm probably going to butcher the name of this run because I've never actually pronounced it out loud, but I think it's Yes9. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Yes9 Monstrous Nox, the Any Percent PC run. So everybody hang tight. We're going to be going to an intermission and you'll be hearing the lovely Queer Buccaneer very, very soon. Have a wonderful rest of the marathon, guys. And everyone here, big love.